at it from this angle, right? You made an error. A costly error at that. Remember, every employer is always after his or her money. No matter how little it is, 5 naira, 10 naira, they're always after their money. Now you made that error, right? And then they said, okay, we are going to dismiss this person for making such error. But because of your line manager, I played on your behalf, and they said, okay, instead of dismissing this person, let's deduct the payment, right? The payment from this person, right? That alone is okay. That's why I said the only mistake they made was not to communicate this effectively to the person.
This next story is quite a sad story because anything wey involve money
na sad
story for me because
story.
everybody I don't play with my money so let's go right into the story. Our anonymous is telling us, okay, let me just enter the anonymous shoe so that you can pay me very well, or
When you get to a point, don't change it to anonymous is.
okay I work in an organization as administrative personnel. I have been with this particular organization for 5 years, 5 good years. Then I made a mistake that cost the company 300,000 naira. I discovered the error myself 6 months later, and I took myself to the management and told them, mo ti dáràn, I've committed crime, I committed error. 6 months later, the management then made plans to fire me. But with the help of my direct boss, he pleaded and I was not terminated. They, however, started debiting me 100,000 naira monthly. But then I just received my salary and saw that they debited 100,000. There was no official correspondence like, this is what you did, what warning letters and all that, and this is what we are going to be doing. After that, I felt bad that after my sacrifice for the organization, they would debit me for an error. I'm human. Then in the 3rd month, they paid me in full. That means they debited only 200k. So that felt like, have they debited? Have they finished their money? Okay, now don't do wetin I wan do. As I was not pleased with the organization any longer, I resigned and I gave them proper notice. I even did hand over everything that I was supposed to do. Then after I left, I was expecting that they would do me a payoff, like it's their usual practice. But I got none. So I called the HR explaining, and the HR told me what made my head ring. That I was still owing the organization. I'm like, can't they let it pass? I've given this organization 5 years of my life. Loyal staff. And nobody is above mistake. Even the mistake sef, una no know, na me tell una. Nobody would have known if I didn't communicate. If I had not resigned, would they still be removing my money? Would they still say I'm still in this company? This thing is paining me. Now I've come out.
Welcome back.
This thing is paying the anonymous, and anonymous is wondering. No. Maybe you all check am normal, like Christiana will say. Normal. Am I still in the company?
I don't know if I say yes or no. Because the only thing that is coming to my own head is during staff exit process, what happened during that process? Why didn't you revisit whatever? Probably the person have outstandings, the person have debts yet to clear. You address it, make the person understand that you are owing us so, and due to this and this and this, this is our stand. We are not going to pay your money. We are going to do this. Communicate it. Do you understand? Because I feel that something happened all through till the person even resigned. Nothing was said. Nothing was addressed. They were just doing their thing because they feel they are the gods over his life. I'm not saying the mistake he did was not a bad one. I'm not saying that. But for the fact that this person had actually come out to explain that this was what I did, I expect the HR department, even the entire management, to communicate the consequences, the penalty for what you did. It's not that they will just assume that because you did this thing, you should know. You dey owe us money. That's what I feel. I don't know.
What does the director think? What do you think? What's your stand?
So
before I tell you people what I think.
Okay, for me, I believe that the management were wrong in terms of the debit, right? Because it's actually against the law. It's always against the law. If you must debit a staff, you must give the staff a notice letter.
True.
And it must be noted there that based on what you did, this is the deduction, this is how long we are going to remove the money, this is how much we are going to remove from your salary. You can't just touch an employee money without telling them.
Feeding them now.
Even if an employee is late for work and you must deduct for lateness, you need to let them know.
I think it's unlawful to deduct for lateness.
If you are late, you are late too.
I think it's
in your contract.
It's unlawful.
That's why the reason.
Unjustifiable. See, I think that regardless of what your contract of employment is saying, because the law will not. If everybody has the freedom, you put whatever you like in your contract of employment. You say so far is there. I think things like that, there could be other penalties. But deducting for this thing,
that's the reason. That's the reason for contracts. Yeah.
But a lot of people do it. A lot of organizations do it in Nigeria, but that doesn't mean it's wrong. Or it's right rather. So you had not finished. Sorry.
Okay, so
I'm sorry to cut you.
Okay, so for me now, what they did was wrong. Like I was saying, right? They would have given this person a notice. This is, at least you prepare ahead of time that, okay, by so time I'll be done with this payment. Do you understand? By so I should be done with this payment. But then you deduct my money. You didn't tell me you're going to be deducting. What if I didn't even let you know that I made an
resignation
error?
Letter, they accepted it.
And they accepted the resignation letter. But then another thing you should think about is, I mean, if you are looking at it from this person's angle, how frequent was the error? Was it just a one-time thing? Was it 2 times? Was it the first time? It could be that there was a trend, a build-up. You know, there's a way most employer will be looking at you. When they have their eyes on you, they're waiting for you to just make one error.
Make sense.
Just one error and you're out.
I disagree.
See,
I'm going to disagree with that.
I'm going to say
and the reason why
something.
And the reason why I'm going to disagree with that is because first things first. If they've observed that this person had been making errors frequently, I'm sure this particular one would have been discovered by them and not by the guy coming to say it. That's number one. Number two is, how would you have an employee that is making error first time, second time, third time? Nobody's calling his attention. Nobody's addressing it. Are you helping him to grow? Are you helping him to actually do well on the job? You are now waiting that let's just wait for him to do one. We'll chase him away. Is that how it's meant to be?
And for that, we can't be too sure now. Like, we don't know how frequent the error has been, right? We don't know how much they have corrected this person. Like, okay, if you do this next time, we are going to punish you. We don't know how frequent, right?
I don't think it has been a frequent thing.
No, you can't say because you don't.
I said I do not think.
Okay.
I do not think so.
Okay, for me, it would be that as much as I entered the anonymous shoe, I empathize with him and all that. I feel like there's an undertone of entitlement with him narrating his story. I think he's feeling entitled. You gave 5 years of your life to the organization paid you. You were paid to do your job. You can't beat a child and tell the child how to cry. You cannot make a mistake that cost the organization and tell them how to react.
Exactly.
And you think that because I've been there for 5 years, I was the one that reported it. How they used to call this thing? News flash. If you don't report it, they would have still seen it.
Exactly.
There's still going to be audits. Yes,
I was even going there.
There's still
Yes.
going to be audits.
Probably.
They are still going to be, the auditors are still going to come, check the accounts and all that. One way or the other, one thing no go balance. It's still going to come back.
So what happened for 6 months that they didn't discover it?
It's not every 6 months that everybody used to do audits.
No, like I'm just saying that what happened for 6 good months that they didn't discover it, and then saying this issue of entitlement. Yes, it could, but also it could be from the point of human feeling, like human emotions. You know, sometimes you might want to tell a story. I'm just trying to understand the anonymous actually, because I don't want us to use his story construct against him. It could be that the way the thing they paint am, na him dey talk am.
No, I don't agree.
Hold on, you might not agree with me. I'm just speaking from my own perspective. So what I'm trying to say is, sometimes when you're telling something, when you're narrating something, you put in your emotions, how you feel about it. It might not be that.
No. How you feel about it, or how you talk about it, is what you think should have happened. You kept hammering on, I gave this organization 5 years of my life. They should. You are entitled. You gave the organization 5 years. You give them for free. Like say you give your life to the
you
Lord.
were paid, of
If
course.
you did not put your
You were
life,
paid,
give
of
your
course.
life to
That's
Christ.
See, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Okay, you should have said that. You shouldn't have said that. I'm just coming from another angle, which still does not spoil anything. You know, we are all bringing what we think about the story.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is, it could be this person telling this thing just as they pain him. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because
Okay.
if he's feeling so entitled, why you go drop your resignation letter? You might still as well feel that, and you still want to continue working with them.
No,
blah, 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 blah.
It's part of
Do
the
you understand?
entitlement.
Okay, so
It's
let
not
me
part of entitlement.
let me
That's
come in
not
here. Let me come in here.
resignation
Let me come in here.
of that.
Okay, I agree with her, and I also agree with you. Let me just
You want
50-50. 50-50.
No,
You're saving your head.
50-50.
You're saving your head.
So,
Okay.
from my own point of view, I get the fact that, I mean, who will work for 5 years and then, especially you want to feel like, feel treated in a particular way. I mean, the way they treated this person was kind of bad in our own
It
way.
might not even be about the deduction. It might be
Yeah.
about them not
No,
even
when you think about
communicating.
it, you have worked in an organization for 5 good years. You have dedicated your life, everything for 5 years.
You
And
should
then
have dedicated your life.
one little mistake, just one. It's not like I told you about it though. You did not find it out yourself. I told you about it and you decided to, deduct from my salary without even telling me or letting me know ahead of time. So that's our own pain. That's where our pain
what
comes
I'm
from.
saying.
I understand your human side of it.
Mm.
I'm just giving you news flash. Like, it's how the word is. Nobody owes you anything.
Exactly.
Nobody
true,
owes you
that's
jack.
true, that's true.
Nobody owes you.
But it
No
doesn't mean
organization
that we
owe
don't have
you
human
loyalty.
feelings.
The same way you will say that you don't owe any organization loyalty or permanency or stuff. Nobody owes you anything. If you go around with that notion, you continue hurting yourself.
Exactly.
You have done something, they want to remove their money. I think that if I was in that kind of shoes, you have deducted the first month, you have deducted the second month. Forget the fact that you didn't give me a notice. I know you have already done what you want to do. And I had a plan of what I want to do in my mind. To do your own, make I do my own. I think it's something that will walk up to you and ask you, have you completed your deductions?
I don't think he's the one in position to walk up to them and ask them.
That's the reason for
understand.
the 1 month
As a
notice.
matter of
I
fact,
understand.
As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
this 100K deduction from what the anonymous is telling us, I'm pretty sure is against the what's it called?
Labor law, yeah.
The labor law.
No, it depends. It depends on what the person's
salary.
yeah. It depends on what
How
the
much
person
they want to pay him to have 100?
If it be 300K now,
As-
1/3 now.
I'm not sure.
100K as
300K.
payoff.
I'm not sure. I doubt.
as
I doubt it. So I feel that for this person to have dropped a resignation letter and he said it followed the due notice period means that at that point you owe him some explanation and clarifications. You don't expect him to be the one to come and tell you that you don't deducting your money because
See,
at first
there are only
you
two
didn't even tell
things.
him why you were deducting.
There are only 2 things I have against the organization. Just
Yeah.
2 things. The first is not giving this person the proper
Notice,
notice, and
yeah.
the second is not to give the person payoff. Like if you are going to deduct the remaining 100,000 naira, there should still be a balance.
Maybe
That's
the
where you pay.
100K be.
It's not
Payoff,
possible.
Abi.
It's not possible.
Maybe the
You
100K be
deduct the
payoff.
remaining one and then you pay the person the balance. You can't take the entire monthly payment to yourself just because the person resigned and is still owing money.
But wait first.
you
I
don't
want to
make any
understand
sense.
something.
You know
Rachel, there's something I want to understand. Wait. So somebody that has resigned or somebody that has been terminated, for example, does it mean that even if there was a particular money thing and there was no contract, no agreement, does it mean that you can still call me back and be like, I'm owing you? I don't know if you get my question.
I think that this case is a case of a petty employee and a petty organization. Everybody is petty because you myself. I don't see how you remove 100,000 naira from my. Oh God! I'm very sure that if the finance manager of my organization is looking at me now, he already knows. You cannot remove that amount from my account or from my salary, and I'm not in your office asking you what is going on.
Let me just put myself in this person's shoes.
Go ahead.
Because I know myself. Me normally Loretta no normal. You understand? I know. I know normal. I feel they come for face. So like those fine girl. I know. If me and my money, we know they. I know they joke with my money. And that's where I think she's actually at fault there. Somebody remove your money first time, second time. You didn't approach the HR.
Because
Not
you be a child of God.
Hey,
If they do count down,
it means that she was already building the whole grievances in her mind, like, okay, do your worst. Me say I will go do my own at the end of the day, which is totally wrong.
Petty.
I mean, they deducted your money first. You didn't get any notice. You would have gone to the HR to escalate, say, oh, girl, wait till they happen, no. Why you they deduct my money? At least from there, she will have more clarity.
See, I'm trying to paint a scenario. Like, okay, let's assume that this person walks up to the HR and be like, you know the response. The response would be like, you don't know say the horse. No, you don't know say the horse. The 300,000 naira when you waiting go do to run, who won't pay am? Now they come out now.
That's why my government say you won't come out.
The guy could just think of my head. Say, I don't need to go embarrass myself. Now I don't do mistake. Now the money that they come out, I think that was his mindset.
If that was your mindset,
mindset.
If that was the mindset, your mindset supposed to tell you say you never complete, say na 200k a day.
See, your mind shop na say, you see this organization, then they do like this. I don't understand. Una don't come out too. Why don't just come out the last one? Make this guy know say, okay, wholeheartedly, I have done
everything. Finance
they can't pay him. Maybe they felt like they've been deducting his money too often. Let's just give him this one to spend.
A breather.
So
next
now
month.
still remove next.
No. I don't agree to that. What me I think to that aspect is that maybe they don't already forgive and say out of this 300k,
Okay.
we'll come out 200k. More just use 100k. Peace of mind. You understand?
Possible,
but
sha.
this person can't go overdo. Can't go resign.
Is that one overdoing?
He resigned. Now that means say you take am personal.
They're not taking personal when they deduct the money.
They did what was right.
He resigned. Resigning could be what was right for him.
You don't understand what I'm saying.
It could be. See,
Yeah.
the person could be he or she. I'm even confused. The anonymous could actually say from the point of this kind of organization, I might not be comfortable working with them again. It might not be because I make mistake or I didn't make mistake.
Like
it might
I
be
said,
because
that means you cannot take correction then.
That was no correction.
It's coming from the place of entitlement.
I'm not
I agree with you on
disagreeing with that one. I don't know about the entitlement. What I'm saying is the way the organization actually managed that situation.
Yeah, that one.
They could have handled it from the point of fairness, communication, transparency, clarity, and they will still deduct the money.
See,
wait now. Let me finish.
Okay.
They will still deduct the money.
Yeah.
But they'll make you understand that this thing you did, this thing has cost the organization.
Yeah.
This is your penalty. However, this is going forward, blah blah blah.
Yes.
The person feels comfortable still working with them.
Nah, like-
But going through this route, he might feel that like he's not what am I still doing here? Do you get it? So we are all individuals with different perspectives.
I think what you have done.
If now you they do one for you go still come that organization.
I feel like what
go press laptop.
What you are saying, it just brings us to this question. Do you think that they should have pardoned him?
It depends on them.
Because that's what he's
And it
thinking.
depends on the
All in mind
severity.
now, make them forget their
And
money.
it depends on the severity of this action. It depends on what the management thinks. I'm not talking about forgetting or not forgetting. I'm thinking the guy is entitled to them communicating, to them actually managing this thing professionally.
That's the mistake of the organization.
Well,
There was no
knows
clear
what I'm
communication.
saying. Everybody knows that's their mistake, Loretta. Nobody said.
No, we have to emphasize on that so that they will
Now,
know.
question they ask Christiana, do you think he should have been
I
pardoned?
answered you. I said it depends on the severity of the action.
That's one.
And
You know
also
why now?
it depends on the management. See, okay, now
you
let's
see
say
this
something.
girl, she will
Let me go
say,
somewhere.
I will not say yes, I will not say no.
Rachel,
And she
let
dey
me go
do
somewhere
again.
in the story. Back to the story.
Okay.
The story stated that immediately he told them the management planned to fire him. That was the plan. Don't forget that.
True.
It
Yeah.
was his direct boss that now interceded for him.
Yes.
So what are we now saying? So it's not about him feeling entitled. It's about immediately this thing happened. First thing this organization wants to do is
dismissal,
to
yes.
dismiss him.
See,
It's not fair. That's the angle I'm coming from.
Christian, I understand you,
Eh-heh.
but you know that nobody in the organization knows you as much as your line manager does.
Exactly.
So I think for every employer, you made me lose money. What the person is thinking of off the top of their head is, how can I lose this kind of money? This guy has to go. What's he doing? What's he doing that he does not? He's now that's why we all clamor that the HR, your line manager, are the ones that are supposed to know the employees better and actually advise or intercede. It might not come from the place of his line manager say, look, this guy does not
like
do
this,
this. Yes, this guy is not like this and all that. And the organization actually listened and didn't terminate him. So it came from probably somebody that does not know what he does, or that thinks that he repeats error, thinking that they have to terminate him. Maybe he would have been doing it, blah, 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 and it took somebody to tell them that, no, this is not how this guy is. Do you understand? do it this way, do it this way. I think that I will answer that should it be pardoned? Should it be pardoned? Like you said, it cannot be a yes or no answer. Forget everything at the top. It cannot be a yes or no answer. It depends on the organization. If they decide to pardon you, it's fine. If they decide not to pardon you, they are not wrong.
I think they already pardoned her actually.
How?
Look at it from this angle, right? Look at it from
I
this
want to
angle.
bite you.
Hold on now. Christiana, wait, hold on first. Let me land. No, yeah,
Oh yeah, now. Oh yeah, now. We are waiting.
So look at it from this angle, right? You made an error. A costly error at that. Remember, every employer is always after his or her money. No matter how little it is, 5 naira, 10 naira, they're always after the money. Now you made that error, right? And then they said, okay, we are going to dismiss this person for making such error. But because of your line manager, I played on your behalf, and they said, okay, instead of dismissing this person, let's deduct the payment, right? The payment from this person, right? That alone is okay. That's why I said the only mistake they made was not to communicate this effectively to the person.
True.
Because regardless,
that's
it's
kind
okay.
of
I'm not seeing it as a pardon.
So because they touch
It's
your
just
money now.
unfortunate that I
No,
cannot
wait,
bite you. No,
wait.
it's just unfortunate that I
Wait.
cannot bite you.
Christiana,
As
wait.
you not touch my money, you're after my life.
No. But the first thing they even come out something they try.
Anybody
They decided to leave the 100k. Trust me. But because
They didn't leave it.
they decided to
I'm
leave it,
seeing
said,
like
I'm
I'm seeing that either a mistake or they have it in mind that let's just leave this money for now. Then the next one will deduct.
it's not possible. They cannot skip a month, right? If they have already removed 200 at a go, that's the end. Trust
See,
me.
the guy
That's the end.
Christopher,
For them
the
to
only-
pay the 3rd month full, that is the end. But because say she dey greedy, she
Greedy
no
how?
wan make dem touch her money after you don touch my money as your employer.
Nobody
I go
wants
touch
them to touch
your
their money. If you touch my money, you are actually planning to kill me.
so are you not planning to kill the employer for touching the money?
See,
Eh?
no, this lady today, she's not here as HR officer. She's here as employer.
I'm here
And
as
we are
em-
going to treat her. We are going to treat her fuck up after
Calm
this
down
show.
now.
Don't worry, we are employees. She's the employer.
As much as I want to say that the guy is entitled, sometimes one part of the DC is
Don't change your.
justified.
Don't change your side, though.
You see,
No,
she's
no,
not
he's
here.
entitled. That's the. But on a lighter note, thinking about it and seeing that money is involved, 100,000 naira. Not be my full go tell they come work because you know.
And
You
the
know,
person-
girl, you go
and the
come
person
out
was
okay.
still- the
No,
person
I'm
was
not
still
gonna
doing
cry
the work.
every day.
The person still resigned following the proper process, did proper handing over. I don't think he has any negativity. I'm not sure.
He
I don't want
does.
to
He
think
does.
so.
I think he
Because
does.
he resigned.
No, I think he does. This
Oh.
was it. This was what he did. You people have done what you want to do. After all, let me do
Rachel, I disagree.
Nigeria woman
I
line.
disagree.
Let me do Nigeria women line. After all that I've done
Don't
for
I
you,
disagree. I disagree.
after suffering with you,
Because
you think you should repay me like this?
see,
I
let me
will
tell
leave
you
the
something. Let me tell
organization.
you something. Let me tell you something. I think that resigning or not resigning, I'm not going to pin it on what happened. Trust me. For the fact that happened, I don't know if that was a coincidence or something. It does not mean that this same person has not been planning his exit before. Somebody that has spent 5 years. So it might not be that because of what occurred was why he now resigned. If he wanted to do that, I think he will not even give them notification. He will just want to say, okay, I want to do them wicked. Let them
Let
lose
his
their money.
money
I'll just
just
go.
leave, yeah.
I will not just do anything. But he still did the proper
You
thing.
don't spend.
So,
you don't spend
it's-
5
it's
years.
a-
Who won't
it's
give
a-
you reference?
It's a probability.
Who won't give you job reference?
All
You know
this
if you
kind-
go
all
like that.
This kind of people. Which
You
kind of
know if you
reference
go
they
like
give
that,
you?
Christiana.
Which kind of reference this kind of people?
I
give
think
you?
the guy was just trying to tidy up. You cannot go like that. You have spent 5 years of your life with an organization. How do you just think that you want to go like that?
See, it all depends on the personality of this employee in question. Because I'm going to say for a fact, I don't know who the anonymous is, but
Yeah.
whoever the person is, I think the person has a kind of good record. For me, he just he just found himself in this kind of mess, and it's quite unfortunate. But reading through the 5 years, the action of his direct line manager, the fact that he mentioned, if he's actually been truthful, that he has not done that kind of error before, the fact that he did the error and then told somebody himself, I'm giving it to him. Trust me, regardless of what we think, regardless of the entitlement or whatever, I am giving it to him because it's very, very rare for you to see people do that. Once somebody even discover the error, the person might just resign and go.
Yeah,
without
she
even
was
saying it.
honest. She
So
was
I'm not
honest, yeah.
saying that it's entitled to them not removing the money, but I feel what the organization would have done to actually appreciate somebody like that is for you to make him understand his wrongs. However,
No, it
manage the
shouldn't be
situation.
appreciated. No,
And
why?
hold on, I'm not saying appreciate like giving something.
Yeah.
Like that was why I said it's for you
Appreciate
to
her honesty.
address that
She
thing
was
better,
honest.
manage it better. Let him or her take the penalty, which is the deduction. However, let it be such that you're concerned about this employee as well. Not somebody working in the environment and then the person feels uncomfortable. Say, na me they at fault. I for not just talk anything. That's my stance.
See, I understand you, and I think I'm going to say it on a final note. I think what the organization did, the only thing I'm going to fault them for, like we have said round and round and round, is not giving the guy a notice when they started the deduction. Is actually not right and quite unlawful.
And if they were
But-
deducting more than one
Yes.
third of his salary,
Yes.
Should be aware.
that's bullshit.
But the only thing I'm going to say is this guy is already looking at the story. He's already bitter at the organization. He feel like he should have just been pardoned. If we are being straight, he feel like he should have just been pardoned. And I think that if this guy was communicated, like they sent him a message or a mail telling him they will deduct from him, he will still wait for the deduction and still leave the organization because he felt that
regardless
the
of
judgment.
what he feels, he has the right to want to do
I know. I'm
okay.
just talking based off of this story.
Okay.
At the end of the day, he's still going to resign because he thinks that they should have let it go. And this is just me telling how do they call it, anonymous and others out there. Organization also run as a business. Sometimes it doesn't come from the place of we don't like you or you have not been with us or you have been with us. Some mistakes are not just mistake that it's just money that is costing you then. What if it's costing you issues with the tax authorities, costing you issues with your clients, costing you big issues at the end of the day? I think that organizations also want to protect themselves, and you have to understand that this life and the workspace is a jungle. Nobody cares about anybody. If they want to, yes, nobody cares about anybody. It's a jungle. How they call it, dog eats dog, lion eats lion. How they used to say it. So don't put too much of emotions,
or expectations.
yes, and expectations on organizations that now leaves you chatter. Sure, Jesus.
No,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Okay, sha, don't put your trust in man. Man can fail you. I'm just trying to say that some things just come with the job and it's not personal. So something
Okay,
shouldn't
so
be
the
taken
last thing I would
personal.
just like to say to all employers out there is that they need to do better, right? You need to communicate with your staff. You need to have them more involved, right? They need to be involved in everything that's going on in your organization. Whatever decision you're going to make, let
Especially
them
when
know
it has to do with
ahead
them.
of time.
When it has to do with their money.
Yes, exactly. Especially that money part is very important. And then lastly, to the employees out there, just know that policies are policies. Even if you have stayed in an organization for 10 years, 20 years, policies
If you are
are
the-
policies.
They will not bend rules.
If you are the
They cannot bend
They will
grandfather,
not bend rules for you.
That's just it.
Anyways, I think nobody is saying anything about the payoff, which is actually the concern of
true, that's
of
true.
the anonymous.
Sorry,
If
anonymous.
the payoff is more than what you're owing them, I think the organization is obliged to pay you your balance.
Yes.
If your money pass 100, even if na 1,000 remain for there, abeg make we go collect am. Me and you go collect am, the 1,000 together.
Christiana will follow
Very
you.
important, very important.
But if
And
your
I'm
payoff,
sorry, Christiana. I think that the anonymous asked a question that we should answer. You have answered it indirectly, but I'm answering it directly. Are you owing the organization? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can continue.
yes, you are owing the organization. However, the organization is also owing you if your payoff is more than that.
True.
It's of both sides. So you're not the only one owing the organization. And for organizations like that not to do the proper financial balancing, clarification, and everything before you leave, go back there and go and know what your payoff is like so that nobody go JMI.
Wear boots, oh. Borrow Loretta's boots.
Maybe wear this one. Wear this one.
Wear boots there.
Wear boots here and carry. If you carry Rachel,
If you need somebody
carry
call me.
Loretta. If you carry Loretta, you don't go see your money collect.
Then as I reach, they'll first carry their printer. They'll carry their printer, put
But
on my head.
I'm not so advise him too that he carry Rachel because both of you are now landing.
You land in jail.
I don't know. I don't think I'm finished. At this point, I think it has been a very, very interesting conversation. Having our guest Loretta, having powerful Rachel, and myself, soft girl. I know they talk too much. So we are going to be bringing this particular.
I don't understand.
We are going to be bringing this particular episode to an end. Thank you for watching this episode. Thank you for following us. Thank you for watching our videos, liking, engaging. Do not forget you can share us your own story. We want to know your story. We want to watch your story. We want to listen to your story and want to discuss your story. You can send to us via email hranonymous@thebagshows.com or via our WhatsApp 081